Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 42 of Get Real with Rajiv. Like every week, we are going to be answering 4 questions in this episode as well. And today, Bhakti is going to be the voice of your questions. So Bhakti, shoot the first question.
First question is from Soumya. I'm doing one-to-one coaching and consulting online and offline, and I'm absolutely fine with offline group coaching. I want to start my own YouTube channel and record my digital courses, but I'm very camera conscious and become judgmental about myself. How do I overcome this fear?
Well, Soumya, firstly, thank you for being vulnerable in asking such a question. That demonstrates a lot of courage. The fact that you're willing to ask this question showcases that you have the willingness to work on it. Now, let me tell you something. It's just how the human brain is wired. Most of us just hate watching ourselves on video, and what cringes us a lot more is listening to our own voice. I mean, think of those times when you sit and watch an old family wedding video, and when you come, you tell the person with the remote control saying, forward it, forward it. So it's a very natural and normal thing for all of us to not enjoy what we see when we see ourselves, and especially not enjoy what we hear when we hear ourselves. It's just the way we are strangely wired. Now, having said that, Soumya, let me tell you something. This thing of consciousness in front of the camera comes probably out of one of two reasons, or probably because of the combination of both these factors. One reason could be, what will people think of me? And I know a lot of people don't do videos because they're worried about what other people will think about them. Well, my advice to such people is that those people who will think something about you don't matter at all. If you're living your life based on what others will think about you, then God bless you, my friend, because your life is not in your control then. So I hope, Soumya, that's not your challenge. And if that is your challenge, I want you to answer this question. How does it matter what other people think about you? Because doing videos is something you're passionate about. It's your mission. It's going to help you take your work forward. Those other people who actually pass nasty comments shouldn't even matter to you. So ignore them. And that's something you've got to condition yourself to doing. The other reason why people feel conscious in front of the camera is not because of what others will think of them, but because of lack of self-love and self-acceptance. There's this I am not enough kind of feeling or thought in the mind. So the best thing for you to do, if that is you, that you feel judgmental about yourself, is ask yourself, where have I not accepted myself? And you will see that that may open a new door for personal transformation for you. Making videos is a phenomenal exercise of facing some of your worst fears and actually working on yourself. So if you feel you're judgmental about yourself, then ask yourself, where is this judgment coming from? Where do I feel I am not enough? And really spend some time in introspecting and reflecting that you actually are enough. It's just that somewhere in your life you made a decision to discard yourself and tell yourself you're not good enough, which is not the truth. Each one of us are unique, each one of us are different, and that's the beauty that we are all gifted with. We just need to learn how to fall in love with the creation of the creator, which is ourselves. So, Soumya, if it's judgment of other people, what will they think of you? Ignore what they will think of you, because those people who think something don't matter at all. And the second thing is, if it's a self-judgment, then answer the question, where do you feel you're not enough, and how can you accept yourself? How can you demonstrate self-love to yourself? When you start doing these things, you're working on yourself, and you will see that power coming out through the video. I hope that makes sense, Soumya, for you to reflect and work on. With that, Bhakti, let's move to the second question.
Second question is from Pankaj. I'm 26 years old and I'm associated with my family business for the last 5 to 6 years. It is a sole proprietorship kind of business in which I work all by myself. I have realized that the business does not have sufficient margin levels to suffice the costs for expansion of the business. In such a case, is it better to find a job and try to climb up in that stream, or continue doing the business at the same? I do have an emotional attachment towards the business and not able to decide. Please advise.
Alright, Pankaj, thank you for that wonderful question, and thank you again for your vulnerability in asking such a question. Pankaj, all I would say is this, that if you are in a business and you're seeing that the margins have gone down in that industry and it's not sufficing or it's not the joy of doing that business is no longer there because the margins have dramatically gone down, then if I were you, I wouldn't think of job as my next best option. I would think of starting some other business, exploring other business opportunities as my next best option. And if you ask me, Rajiv, okay, where do I find options for what kind of business I should do, then I would recommend you follow this gentleman by the name Karan Hasija on Facebook and Instagram, because Karan has a course on how do you identify business opportunities for yourself based on your capacity, based on your capability. So I would say do some study on what other business opportunities are possible for you. Don't discard the possibility of shifting and starting a new business. Having said that, the other thing I would like to know more in detail, and probably you could drop me a message, is tell me what kind of business you are in, because sometimes you don't really have to change the business. You just have to make changes in the business, which means you have to pivot the business model and ask yourself what is a more profitable and scalable business model in this industry, in this product line. So it's not that big a shift you're making where you're leaving that segment or sector and you're exploring a new segment and sector. So the first step in business, when a business is no longer making that much margins, the first thing any entrepreneur should do is make changes in the business, in the product offering, in the marketing, in the business model of the existing business. Now, even after making those changes, if you feel that the profitability will not be satisfactory, then you change the business. So I wouldn't consider a job unless and until I am in a crisis situation to a point where the lifestyle of my family, the survival of my family is at stake, and I need to put food on the table immediately on a month-to-month basis, and for which I need a consistent income. Based on what you're sharing, it seems like the profit margins have reduced, and to scale investing in it does not make sense, which means you are still able to survive. So don't jump into the job conclusion at this point of time. Make changes in the business or change the business. Explore one of those two solutions first. I hope that makes sense, Pankaj. With that, let's move to the third question.
Our third question is from Vivek. I'm a trainer and a coach. During this lockdown, I'm offering my free webinars to people. While I promote such webinars, I get a lot of abusive and nasty comments. This is demoralizing sometimes. How do you handle such people?
All right, Vivek. So let me tell you something. I think we live in a very, very interesting world today. And why I say this is, with the advent of social media, what has also happened is social media is bringing out the character of different people. I always say this to people. The other day I had a friend who was saying, Rajiv, there are so many webinars happening, so many people are promoting webinars. Everybody is becoming a trainer, coach and a knowledge giver. What is happening to the world? And here's my philosophy on that. My philosophy on that is, if you look at any problem in the world, poverty, unemployment, business survival challenges, career growth challenges, relationship challenges, health challenges, emotional health challenges. You take any problem in the world, the root cause or the solution of that problem lies in better education. Which means the world needs more knowledge givers. The world needs more trainer, coaches, healers, and knowledge givers. So firstly, you should be proud of yourself as a knowledge giver, because that's the solution to every problem in this planet. Having said that, secondly, are there people who are playing the role of knowledge givers and not doing justice, not adding value? Well, there will always be, like in every other industry. My simple thing to you, Vivek, would be, do not get discouraged by negative people. Because think about it, what are you doing? You are promoting a free webinar. And when you are promoting a free webinar, you are spending your time in giving people knowledge for free. If people resonate with it, they click and they register for that free webinar. Now some may say, oh, but at the end of the webinar, you will sell something. And my thing to those critics is this: if a person's doing a free webinar for 2 hours and adding value and giving knowledge, say 100 people come to that webinar, if 15 or 20 people resonate with the knowledge of this trainer or this coach and they decide to continue the learning journey, then what's the harm? And if the rest go back without buying, no problem. They still got some knowledge or some value for free. So Vivek, please understand this. What you're doing is a noble thing. Continue to do it. And I always say this to people on social media. Your comments on other people's posts is a reflection of your character, your mannerisms and your upbringing. It has nothing to do with the content of the person. I see so many things that I don't like on social media. Doesn't mean that I become nasty, because that's not my upbringing, that's not my mannerisms, that's not my character. But some people fail to understand that, and they want to show their upbringing, mannerisms and character, and you can't help it. And my only solution to you, Vivek, firstly understand this: you're on a mission to make a difference to people's lives. Continue doing that. There will be some nasty people. Just empathize with them and bless them. Pray for them that they have that awakening and realization that their comments reflect their character. And the simplest thing they should do if they don't agree with you is to ignore you. Now, if they come and complain to you saying, but your ad is showing up on my timeline, well, then they need to understand Facebook, Instagram is a marketplace. Mark Zuckerberg has developed it as a marketplace. So if they don't want to be on the marketplace, they should log out or not be a part of such platforms. So don't get into nasty interactions with such people. Simple philosophy, Vivek, see if it helps you. A person who's putting out dirt on your timeline is showcasing their character. It's like a pig who's in a pile of shit. Now, if you fight with a pig in a pile of shit, then remember this: you will get dirty, but the pig will enjoy it. So just ignore it and live your mission, my friend. Live it shamelessly. Go out there and spread your light to the world, because the world needs more knowledge givers. I hope that makes sense and gives you a lot of strength, Vivek. With that, let's go to the fourth question.
Our fourth question is from Pradeep Kumar. In this never-ending chase of achieving one goal after another, there is no peace of mind. And this is not just at the organization level, at the family level, everywhere it is there. While goals and achievements are important, how can we be peaceful too?
Well, Pradeep, think about life as a pendulum. Okay, a pendulum that has to swing in two corners. One is the goals and achievement side, the other is the peace and fulfillment side. And the pendulum has to keep swinging, Pradeep. Now, let me tell you what your question reflects. What your question is reflecting is somewhere you've sat down in silence and you asked yourself, what's the purpose of everything in life? What's the purpose of these goals I set in my career, goals as a family, that we should travel, we should save, we should do this, we should do that. Sometimes I've seen people who sit and question the purpose of everything in life, turn cynical and resign to the purpose of life, and they wonder what's the point of everything. Everything is so artificial, everything is so fake. We can live without anything. We can be one with nature. I feel only goal focused is dangerous, and this resolve and absorb everything on the planet and sacrifice everything and be happy with whatever little you have, I think that extreme is also dangerous. I think life is a beautiful pendulum, and it has to keep swinging between goals, fulfillment. And one has to really make peace with this journey and say that, hey, the joy is in the journey. Because think about it. If you don't set goals in your career, in your family, and you just do nothing in life, will you be peaceful? You will not be peaceful even then. In fact, it will make you feel useless, redundant, and frustrated. So the key is to enjoy the process of achieving the goals rather than feeling burdened that I'm jumping from one goal to the other, one goal to the other, one goal to the other. So I would say, take off the burden, understand that the purpose of life is to keep taking the next step, is to keep progressing, is to keep creating, is to keep contributing, and to keep experiencing. So as long as you're creating, contributing, experiencing, enjoy the journey of setting those goals, because without goals, it would be meaningless. There'll be no direction. You just sit there feeling bored with life. So even that is not healthy. Just make peace with the journey. The joy is in the hustle. The joy is in the journey. The joy is in the chaos. The question each one of us need to ask ourselves in every area of our life, be it our health, wealth, or relationships, or our career, are we having chaos of growth, or are we having chaos of survival? If we are having chaos of survival, we need to upskill ourselves, make ourselves better, so that we start playing the game for growth. And in the game for growth, just know that the problems will also grow, the challenges will also grow, but that's the joy of growth. So enjoy that journey, my friend, and make peace with it. I hope that makes sense, Pradeep. With that, we come to the end of episode number 42 of Get Real with Rajiv. And now is the time for us to pick the question of the week. So Bhakti, tell me, who do you think deserves a copy of my book Lead or Bleed and the question of the week? Okay, I agree to Bhakti's choice, because I think based on the question this person answered, the copy of my book Lead or Bleed will be an apt gift for that person, so that they can learn, grow, and evolve out of their current situation. So the question of the week is question number 2, which was asked by
Pankaj.
where Pankaj asked us the question on his family business survival and should he look at a job or what else should he look at. So Pankaj, you're getting a copy of my book, Lead or Bleed. My team will get in touch with you and make sure they courier a hard copy of my book, Lead or Bleed. Enjoy the read and use the lessons from that book to reinvent your business and take it forward. I hope that makes a difference to you, Pankaj. And with that, we come to the end of episode number 42. And for all those of you who've tuned in, like I ask you to do these two things every single week in every single episode, you need to do your two things. The first one is you need to send in your questions in the comments below or on this WhatsApp number that you see flashing on your screen. And the second thing that you need to do is you need to click the share button on this video so more people in your friend circle, in your social circle, get to watch the Get Real series with me, Rajiv, and get to ask me questions. With that, this is Rajiv Talreja signing off. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.